Hey, I just wanted Jason and Kori to kind of share their story for a minute here of what they're up to. So go for it, and I'll say something afterwards.
Okay. A lot of you know this, but in January, Kori and Jackson and Sydney and I will be moving to Jinja, Uganda in Africa for 2 years to serve as missionaries at a school over there with Muslim ministries that you see up here. It's a brand new school, it's a boarding school, so we get to go over there and love and take care of some young children there. And I got to know Brawn, well, we've known him for a while, but 3 years ago got to know him, and about 2 years ago started working with Brawn on some one-on-one coaching, just because I felt like the leadership that I was giving to the people that I worked with and my family was lacking. I wanted to be able to empower them and give them value. I remember him asking me, the big question was, what do you want people to say about you when they're at your funeral? And I couldn't answer that question. And quickly I realized that I didn't know enough about myself. I wasn't aware of how God made me, how God wired me, my skills and abilities, and so we quickly moved into this study session Kori and I both did with Brawn called 48 Days of the Work You Love. And I didn't realize it till just this week of how much it was just growth. And you've heard some things said today about this idea of all of a sudden you have this temporary lack of security. When you begin to really understand who you are, it's kind of scary. And but both of us grew. We started learning who we are, how we're made, how God wired us, and realized that what we were doing wasn't what God wanted us to do. And Dan and Kathy talked about this calling. And we quickly discovered what that calling was, and wouldn't have discovered it if we hadn't spent some time on ourselves and learning about ourselves. And I'll shamelessly plug Brawn here. Could not have done it without his coaching. So, and thanks, Brawn.
Just real quick, too, something that we worked really hard on, I'm going to bring up and put you really on the spot here on the hot seat, is, you ready? Just this idea of purpose and a family purpose and a family vision. Do you want to just talk about how that really helped you? Yeah, Kori's ready. She's like, oh.
Well, like a good husband who leads his family well, when Jason started working with Brawn at his work, he decided we needed to work with Brawn at our house. And so he brought me to stretch me, get me out of my comfort zone as well, to work on who we are. And what we came up with was, what is our purpose? And we discovered, as hard as we were trying, we were a family who was doing a lot of good things, but we were mostly just like that hamster on the wheel, going around and around and around. And somebody said this morning, are you living by your calendar? And we were living by our calendar. Our calendar dictated where we were, when we were going to be there. Just, we didn't decide. We looked at it to see what we were doing. So we came up with a family mission statement and a purpose, and I'm going to let you share it. Because you know it, right?
This is the test. So if you're in a group with me, you get this question all the time. No, you don't have to share it if you don't remember.
Well, for us, it's crazy that Dan and Kathy said this, because our purpose was Romans 12:2, to not conform to this world, and to offer our lives as a living sacrifice for Him. And when you discover that purpose, all of a sudden you can say, okay, does that line up with our purpose?
Yeah.
And if not, you can say, no, we're not going to do that.
Awesome. Well, it's been an honor. It truly has to work with y'all. I'm so excited for this next step. They've sold everything, right? They've sold their house.
Including the kids.
So did you all love that video of that girl that was about to do the ski jump? Okay, so picture the four of us right here, because that's us. We are standing up there on looking at what we're about to do, we're 60 days out from when we leave. We've sold our house. We've sold our,
Yeah, I had a garage sale this last weekend. Did you get rid of all the junk?
We got rid of a lot of junk. We still have a lot of junk.
Yeah. And the next thing that I want to say that I mean, it tears me up every time I think about it is them as parents. Can you imagine going to your 13 and 14 and 12, I was in the middle, 14 and 12-year-old with this news? And I want one of you to share what Jackson said. Whoever can get through it, because I can't.
Well, so we sat them down one night. We were already in the middle of the process, but we wanted to bring them on board. It was getting serious. And so we told them what we wanted to do, which was to move to Jinja and Uganda and work with this ministry. And my son, in all seriousness, he kind of, I like to, he's standing up, so he kind of got up from where he was sitting, and he kind of was like, well, if this is what God is calling us to do, then the worst thing we can do is not go. So should I go pack my bag? I mean, like, he was ready to pack. Yeah. He thought we were going to leave that night. Yeah. I don't know.
But I just think, I mean, you tell your 14-year-old child, and he says that this is what God's calling us to.
He's ready.
We're going.
We're ready.
Isn't that awesome? Give it up for the cases. So the first thing I want to say is on behalf of L2L, I'm going to start the giving to them. So I have a check for $1,000 to support y'all on behalf of L2L for the next 2 years. And then on top of that, she doesn't want to come up here, but I'm going to make her anyways. My wife and I definitely have, it's been an honor, and we'd be privileged to support y'all. So we're going to give another $1,200 on top of that from us. All right?